Right, well this is a basic way that I make Kane's food when the weather outside's too bad to have her outside. The weather is really bad at the moment, so I've not been able to pick very many weeds. I've just got a little bit of grass, which is here. Usually she'll have dandelions, plantain, shepherd's purse, and a lot more grass. But mainly she loves dandelions and clovers. I grow a lot of stuff myself in the summer months, but because I live in the UK, the weather's bad most of the time, so I have to put up with whatever I can get and try and make the rest up myself. So I'll give you a quick demo of what I usually do. Right, so start off just plain spring greens, not bought as cabbage, but spring greens. Grow these yourself, really easy. And they grow in bad weather, which helps. So I usually cut the main vein out. I don't know if you can see that properly. It's a bit chewy. Alright, compost though. You don't have to chop it up too fine. Depends on how old your tortoise is. But Kain is now, should be 4.5 years old. So I will, as soon as I can, put another video on so you can see how she's doing. You know, obviously if you've got a new hatchling tortoise, you need to really try and take anything that's, you know, thick that they might choke on. But in the wild, they don't get looked after, they just grab whatever they can. So I'm sure I've seen some pet stores, big chunks of carrot and they gnaw on it, but I'm just a bit worried about it. So spring greens, roll up in a big fat roll. You get any little baddish bits like, you know, black bit, not doing any harm really, but pull them off. Just spend all that in a bowl. This is a red cos lettuce. Not very red, but usually I use endive a lot. I grow all my own endive in the summer months. I don't really have to buy any food for Kain from May through till November usually, so it's not too bad. I have an area in the garden, but I've also got an allotment, which is fairly cheap. So with this, just cut the main chunk off. Some guinea pigs, so the guinea pigs like them. And then, because the veins are quite tough, I just press it like that, just to break them up a bit. You don't have to, I'm sure they'll get it down. That'll go in the bowl. Now, romaine. Everyone says don't feed them iceberg, so I've never given her iceberg. She has strawberries now and then when they're available. Same with this really. Peel the bottom off. These are a nice treat just to give her a couple of big leaves, really. But I'll mix them into food. I'll just take the tops off for now. I'll keep that a little bit for next time. You don't want to make too much of it because it won't keep for that long. Unless if your tortoise is huge, which if you've got a sulcata like me, they will get huge. Right, courgette, or zanushi, whatever you want to call them. This is just a bit of one I had in the fridge left over, so I need to get some more of them. I grow these in the summer, which are really easy. They said I used to grate it when she was small, but you don't need to. I've just got a normal regular potato peeler here. You can use a knife if you want, but use it with that. But I'll show you how I do it with a knife anyway. I just cut it, you know, in not too thick and not too thin, you know, about that sort of size, you know, and then just chop it lengthways. If you have a full one, just use a potato peeler and take slices off it. So that's all there is of that. She doesn't have this very often. Back in the ball. Carrot, she loves it, so she'll dig everything out usually to get to the carrot. So you can either grate it, which I would for hatchlings, but because she's getting there now, potato peeler, great for it, and just keep going. And you've got a bit of a fat end on it left. You can take your time doing this. I mean, usually I just make her fresh every day usually. You know, or if I'm busy I'll leave instructions for a relative on what to do, or I'll pre-make it up. But not too much, as I say, because it won't last. You know, maybe if you put it in a really good airtight tub, you know, 4 or 5 days. But do not put your powder on when it goes in the fridge. Wait until you pulled it out, because if it's in the main mix, it'll send it a bit funny since to dry it out. So that's the carrot. Shove that in the bowl. Right. It looks a lot. Believe me, it's not. If I'd let her, she'd eat all this. But because the weather's so bad and I can't get her out very much. You know, some days I'll just give her a little tiny bit. But they're like, just, you know, don't think if they're off the food for a day or two that there's anything wrong with them. They might not be hungry, they're not getting the exercise. You know, or they can be a bit picky, especially if you're fed with strawberries and things. They kind of just want to eat the strawberries, but if they're hungry they'll eat anything. So that's the basic, well, green vegetable mix really. You can mix the grass in, but so I know she's eating it, because she doesn't really prefer grass unless if I put her out on the grass. I prefer to give her grass on its own, so I know she's eating it, and then give her this stuff. You know, this is the main thing that she needs. You know, if you can get her outside, or if you whatever torch you've got, you can get it outside is the best place for it. But obviously in the UK, keeping an African tortoise, it's hard. So you know, she has her regular checks at the vets and everything's been okay. You know, regarding soaking with water, she still has a bath, you know, once to twice a week. She has water in her enclosure at all times. Very shallow dish, so it's there if she wants it. Right, regarding powders, I change them from time to time, different days, but usually, you know, I've got some calci dust, any calcium carbonate, you know, as long as it's pure calcium carbonate, is good. So you shop about a bit to find the right one. They ran out of the usual one that I like to use, but this seems okay. The other thing I use is, I don't know if you can see that, that's Nutribol. Just have this usually 2 times a week, but you can give it 3 times, but don't give them the same together, I've been told, because they don't like working together. Something counteracts what the other one does, so this will help her absorb this. as far as I know. So I'm sorry you can't see my face, but got a bit of a rubbish camera, so you just have to bear with me. Right, so if I was going to dish her some of this out and give her some Nutribol, just move this bowl out of the way. I'd get some space. I say it might look a lot, but remember most of it's just water, really. That's why this is the more fibrous. She doesn't like hay, but eventually she will be on hay as well. I used to blend hay up into a powder and put it in, but she'd be really funny about eating her food. So get her food. Now spread it out. The direction is on this 1 pinch per kilo of animal. Depends how big your pinch is. So as long as there's a good amount but not too much. So and they always put it in this little silly bag. This stuff lasts a long time, you know, but don't depend on this. You need to make sure you've got full spectrum tubes for lighting and heat. I have a basking light, both UVB tubes, and I have a UVA light, which is supposed to help in natural behaviour, and I kind of agree with it. So our enclosure's getting a bit small for now, so I'm due to be making a bigger one soon. So my pinch, I do 2 fingers, so and I sprinkle it all like that. So she's just over 4 kilo now, so this will be 4 pinch. Because I've washed this and left it to dry on the drainer for a while before I did this, there is still some moisture on it. So if you left it like that, she'd probably turf the leaves out of the way, because she doesn't like the Nutribol. I will admit it doesn't smell the best. And just mix it all up like that. Now she'll probably eat all that and all that, and then tomorrow I have just a small amount of this left, so I won't give her as much tomorrow. And then if you feel like you've given her a bit too much, you don't have to feed them every day. You know, from time to time, it won't do them any harm to have no food, just to let them clear out a bit. Or just give them a few dandelion leaves and things like that. If you're struggling getting this Nutribol into your tortoise, I can suggest that find out what she likes eating most. Mine is carrot and strawberries. And then on the days you're going to give this, make a small amount up of carrot and strawberry, the things that they like, and mix it in that way. The other way is chop a strawberry up, not too many because the sugar's in them, and chop them up finely and mix them in with this, and the juice out of the strawberry will mask a lot of the smell, and they tend to have it okay then. So the food bowl that she's got at the moment is this. She needs a bigger one because sometimes I have to give it her in 2 sittings, you know. Or if I have her running around in the kitchen, I'll just I'll scatter it about. I'll mop the floor and clean it, and I'll scatter it about, so she has to walk about, because they do tend to go and find a corner and just sit there and look at you, sort of like saying bring it to me, but no, they've got to move about, otherwise you'll get a fat tortoise. So do that, and then you can kind of squeeze it all. No point trying to be too neat, because they'll only just uplift everything. I know Kain will, just to get at the carrot probably. that is not as important. I can't stress this enough. That is what they should be having, as much of this grass and weeds, but check on the internet for what weeds you can give them. It's easy with dandelions to go around and collect the seed heads when they go all white and fluffy, and take the seed heads and go and find a bit of ground somewhere and tap all the seeds off. They'll come off. I used to blow them and they'd fly around. Well, they're the seeds, and you can grow an area of just a mass of dandelions. Same with clover. Crimson clover seems to be the bigger leaf. I don't know which is the preference. I grow white, crimson and red, and also I use the narrow leaf planting. The broadleaf's a little hard to find the seeds for, but the normal ribwort planting, you can sow a line of seeds, and they're the same. If you keep an eye, if you can identify the plant, you can find the seeds when they go to seed usually autumn, and then the seeds will come up the following year. But once you've got an established bed of them, they will drop the seeds every year and they will keep growing back. So that's what I usually do. I have an area of dandelions, and shepherd's purse just tends to grow everywhere. It's a bit of a nuisance really for vegetables, but when I'm doing my weeding, if there's anything she can eat, she has it. Anything else goes in the compost bin. Let's say if you've got any other pets that like vegetables, like rabbits or guinea pigs, then any leftovers they can have as a supplement. Kain has never ever had the dry tortoise food. The vet said she's okay with a little bit of it from time to time, but she doesn't really agree with it. It's good for him because of the proteins in them. 'Cause it's supposed to be very high fibre. Now, regarding greens, if you live in the UK, the best place to get the greens from, the spring greens, is Asda, because the fibre to protein is a lot higher. Regarding grass, I grow areas of grass. It's mainly done with timothy and ryegrass because they're easy to grow, and as long as you don't overdo it and let it recover, it's okay. But as long as you're getting a good variety, check the internet. There's lots of lists of what you can and what you can't feed them. And so you just do the best you can. Don't just give them lettuce every day because it's not good for them. Also, there's a couple of weeds that are a big no-no that I know of. There's one called ragwort. Look for that on the internet, and if you find that, eradicate it. It takes a long time, and don't have your tortoise grazing anywhere where there's ragwort because it'll kill it. I had a problem with it in the back garden, and I've pretty much got rid of it now. So before she goes out in probably late spring, when it's warm enough to get her outside for a few hours, I'll go out and I'll do a spot check before I mow the grass. But if you don't let it go to flower or to seed, 2 years and you shouldn't have any problem. Once you've got rid of it, don't try and just pull it up because it'll just grow back. Either dig it out, or there's some special killers that will just deal with ragwort. But you've got to be careful if you're going to treat the ground, how long it is before your tortoise can go back on it. The best way is go with a kitchen knife and cut it off where it comes out of the ground, and just keep doing that, and eventually they will not come back, because once you get the hard frost in the winter, that will kill the roots a bit, but a plant will only come back so many times before it gives up. Other things you can do, you can put like a small pot over it, or a large rock, to cover it from the sun so it can't come back. But really check for what area your tortoise is going to graze on, to make sure that there is nothing there that will cause any harm. The best thing to do really would be to get an area, put some weed membrane down and buy some topsoil. Sometimes add a little sand to it. You can mix some garden lime with it because it is calcium in it, so everything that grows in it will be rich in calcium. And then grow your own seeds, or your grass seeds. You can buy weed mixes, and that will be little tortoise grazing area. It's okay for a small one. When you've got a big one, then either you've got to buy all your vegetables and then just hope you've got enough grass to support it, or like me, grow your own. Alright, well I hope this helps a bit, and I'll get a video on of kain as soon as possible. See ya.